Tonight's class is a restorative practice, so we'll only do about 5 poses. I have 5 poses in my mind I want to take you through. And in each of those poses, I'm going to present to you something to ponder, something to muse about related to training your brain to become more happy and to actually learn to change the baseline of happiness in your brain. So there have been tons of studies done with Buddhist monks suggesting that there's an actual baseline we can reach where we're non-reactive, where we're grateful, where we have a deep sense of belonging and sense of community. And we can use our yoga and meditation practice to train our brains to adapt to these things that are proven to make us happier on a day-to-day basis. So let's dive right in. We will start in the one and only heart bed. So you need one bolster and 2 blocks and maybe 1 blanket. And take your bolster vertical along the back of your yoga mat. Take 2 blocks and tuck them beneath your thighs as you drive the soles of your feet together. And now let your whole torso melt down onto your bolster and turn both palms to face up. Readjust as much as you need to here. You can move your spine higher or lower on your bolster. Some students like to prop their heads here. You can take your blocks higher. Remember that the essence of a restorative practice is to use props. So pillows, blocks, cushions, whatever you have. You could even stack blankets under your arms. You could take a blanket and drape it over your body. Get really, really cozy and really, really comfy here. Now I invite you to close your eyes. Close your eyes, take a deep breath in through your nose. Open your mouth wide and exhale. 2 more like that. Inhale through your nose. And exhale out through your mouth. Good. 1 more time. Breathe in deeply. And breathe out completely. Feel your body turn down the volume. And as you start to rest here, in heart bed, I want you to think about a time in your life where you really purely felt happiness. Maybe it's a fleeting moment, a day. And when I thought of this in my own world, I thought of in my 20s when I was backpacking. I was a freelance writer and yoga teacher backpacking around the world, and I was surrounded by new people. I was constantly making new friends. I was doing work that I loved. I was very goal-oriented. My work helped people. And I never seemed to get upset. I journaled every day and would write down little things that made me happy. Make little poems out of sightings that I saw from bus windows. I noticed the littlest things. I remember seeing a rainbow from a bus while an Iron and Wine song was playing and thinking that it was the most miraculous moment on earth. And when I was prepping for tonight's class and researching what the primary aspects of training our brains to be happy are, I found out why I was so happy on those backpacking trips. The first thing is making connection, making human connection, making friends. The second is focusing on goals, not fears. The third is expecting the best outcome. And the fourth is not getting upset if that outcome doesn't come to be. The fifth way to train your brain to improve, to increase its level of happiness is to constantly practice gratitude for your achievements and successes. Number 6 is to write a happiness diary. Write down what makes you happy. Number 7 is to do something that makes others happy. So to give, to serve. Number 8 is to focus on the little things. Number 9 is to enjoy the process of life, of your goals. And finally, number 10 is to set ambitious goals and to have a mission. Let's start there. Take a deep breath in. Open your mouth wide and exhale. And imagine that you are a copywriter for the business of your life. And you are set to write your life mission statement right now. What is your mission? What is your purpose in life? Allow your body to soften like it's melting into your props. And could you devote the next few minutes to just allowing this new mission statement that you've crafted, or maybe you're still crafting, to sink in? I'll let you know when your time in this shape is take 5 more breaths here. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Drift your knees together. Listen carefully. Shift your hips out to the left. Roll over onto the right. Press your left hand on the floor on the left side of your bolster, your right hand on the right side, and pick up your chest so you're in a rotated spine. You can choose the intent of this rotation as you start to return your torso to the bolster, resting either cheek down on your prop. And maybe your belly is flat on your bolster. And this is a really big spinal twist. Perhaps you're lying more laterally on your side with that right ear on the floor. You choose. And once you've navigated what you're doing with the upper body, decide what to do with the lower body. So you could stack both knees, maybe props come in between your knees. And some students like to stagger their legs here. So finding this twisted spinal shape that doesn't cause you any pain with enough props that lets you feel like you can really let go. And when you get there, take a big breath in through your nose. Exhale out through your mouth. And think about what makes you happy. What makes you happy? Foods, people, smells, activities, music, sounds, experiences. What makes you happy? You'll spend 3 more minutes here just remembering, reminiscing on the happy thing. Take 5 more breaths here. What makes you happy? And slowly unravel, lift your belly back up, and turn your torso so it's facing down now. You're on all fours. Give yourself 5 breaths to move however you want to move. I'll default into cat-cow, spinal undulations. But if there's a different movement your body's yearning for, take that movement instead. And now walk both knees towards the left side of your yoga mat. Bring your left hip up against the edge of your bolster. Frame the bolster with your palms and take a minute here to lift your gaze, to look up and lengthen. Now begin that really slow and mindful descent down. Play with angles, shifting in and out of different variations of the shape until you find the one that works best for you. Again, you might end up more lateral on your side with your left ear on your bolster, or maybe you've twisted totally with your right ear on your bolster. Soften your body, all of your weight onto your paw. And then soften even more. And now, could you ask yourself, who or what do I bring happiness to? Maybe people or pets, your gardens, your community. Who or what do you bring happiness to? And bask in that. Be proud of that as you linger here for 3 more minutes. Take 5 more breaths here. Who do you bring happiness to? Slowly, slowly unwind your body, press it back up. And when your arms become totally straight, turn your bolster. So now it's horizontal. And keep a block nearby. You may or may not need that block for your head. The idea is to take this bolster horizontally across your upper mid back, so where your bra line might sit. Come down and either choose to take a really big back bend here with your shoulders flat on the floor. You can readjust until this feels nice in your spine, or lessen the intensity by adding a prop underneath your head. Now, if your bolster is really high or really thick, you might actually just want to roll up a blanket for this exercise instead. And then you can take your feet and plant your feet on the floor, maybe drop your knees together or keep them apart, whatever feels better. Or send your legs out, send your arms out, and just starfish in this big heart, chest, and lung opener. Only 2 minutes here because we're working with a much bigger sensation. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And open your mouth wide to exhale. And as you're in this shape that really exudes courage and confidence, can you tap into what you are afraid of? What are you afraid of? Perhaps you have a list that seems never ending, but choose the top 3 things that you are afraid of and set a goal around them. Maybe you're afraid of going back to school. So you set the goal to focus on that achievement of going back to school. Flip the fear to an achievement state of mind. And see how that sits. A little more time here. Now for the final 5 breaths in this big chest opener, can you breathe in the achievement and breathe out the fear? Relax your jaw, loosen your fingers and your toes. If your knees aren't already bent, bend your knees now. Shift your weight onto the right side of your body. Really slowly push yourself back up and find your way back onto all fours for a few breaths of self-guided movement. So if you think of the word restore, what shapes or movements would you take here? And now turn your bolster vertical again, just as it was when we started. If you have sensitive knees or ankles, take props beneath your knees and ankles for a restorative child's pose. You can build that bolster in front of you up with as many blocks or additional bolsters as you like. You could take props under your hips, above your calves. And now let your belly melt down onto your bolster. If this is too much on your knee joints, you could take a similar shape to child's pose, but on your back with your feet propped up against the wall. There's a really mild stretch along your inner groin that's happening here, and a release through your lower back. Good. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, soften down, and start to reminisce or think about the successes, accomplishments, achievements, whatever you call them, that you've had. And maybe it's today. Maybe it's simple. For me, it was getting both of my kids out of the house on time this morning. Or maybe it's big and huge. What achievements have you accomplished today, this year, in your whole life? Remember those. Take a few minutes here. You're halfway through your time here. You might change the positioning of your head, switching the direction. Take 5 more breaths here. Press your hands down into the floor. Lift your body up. Take your time and place your bolster now horizontal towards the bottom of your mat. Set your blocks out to the side. Come down onto your back and hug your knees in towards your chest. Hug your knees in towards your chest and make any movements that feel good. This might mean you're moving in and out of a reclining spinal twist. But one of my favorite restorative experiences in studio classes in my life was when a teacher had us come here and for 10 minutes told us to just move in a way that felt good. I'll give you 3. Close your eyes, think about that word restore, and move in a way that feels good. Maybe your body's done and it doesn't want to move at all, in which case you'll soften into a restorative shavasana with your legs flopped over 1 or 2 bolsters. I'll let you know when these 3 minutes of playtime are up. And take a few more breaths, doing whatever it is you've been driven to do or undo. And eventually release your legs down over a prop, easing any discomfort in your lower back as you do so. Turn your palms to face up, soften your body. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, let go of all effort, all mind training. And simply be still in this quiet, uninterrupted, still place. 10 ways to be happier from the Happiness Project. 1. Make your number one priority close friendships with other people. 2. Focus on your goals rather than your fears, on what you want to accomplish rather than what you want to avoid. 3. Expect the best outcome, and you will be more motivated to try to achieve it. 4. Don't beat yourself up if the outcome is not everything you imagined. 5. Appreciate what you have achieved during the day, that rather than what went wrong or what you still have left to do. 6. Set ambitious goals and develop a profound sense of mission. 7. Keep a happiness diary. Each time something makes you feel happy or laugh, write it down. It makes you more mindful of all the times when you are happy and gives you something to cheer you up when you need a boost. 8. Try to make other people happy. 9. Remember how little most things matter in the long run. And 10. Be persistent and learn to enjoy the process rather than the results. And with that, I'm inviting you to enjoy the process of your practice here in Shavasana for as long as you can tonight. I'll leave you here. Thank you for sharing your time. And I hope that you can stay resting in this wonderful, quiet place. Namaste.